Alrighty, what is good, everybody? It's your boy Nate. Today I'm coming back at you with another story time. This one is actually a multiple story time. We got multiple stories today about some things that happened to my teachers. So I don't want to take too much of your time, so let's jump right into this. But before I do, just make sure to like and subscribe and turn on those notifications and comment down below. Alright, let's get right into this.
Is touching the truth.
Alright, so the first story is probably one of the least craziest, so we'll save the best for last. But this is just a light little funny story about my teacher getting mad at this kid for looking through his backpack. Yeah, I know, pretty crazy, right? Let's get right into this. It started off as a pretty normal day, to be honest. It was my fourth period class. It was my history class. That's where most of the crazy stuff happened. History and English is where everything really happened. So what went down was, it was at the very beginning of class. I walked in, I sat down, I got all my stuff out, and I was just waiting. And my teacher was like, all right, everybody do the task on screen, get all your stuff out. And I finished the task pretty quickly, and I looked to my right. I looked to my left, and there's this kid that I don't know that well. He was in one of my beginning groups at the very beginning of the year when we were getting to know everybody. So we're just going to call him Tyler. Alright, so Tyler, I did not know very well, like I said. He was kind of the wannabe class clown, it's hard to explain. But he was also a really smart kid, so good for him. So I looked to my left, like I was saying, and he's digging through his backpack, and he's trying to find all his stuff. And he obviously can't seem to find it. So the teacher walks up and is like, hey, what are you doing? He's like, oh, sorry, I'm looking for my stuff. And she's like, well, hurry up. And he has this big grin on his face because he thinks it's the funniest thing. And then he proceeds to take his backpack and dump everything on the floor. Yeah, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. He just takes the backpack and starts throwing it on the ground, starts shaking up and down until everything comes out. And I just look at my teacher's face, and I've never seen so much disappointment in someone's face. And I kid you not, for 5 minutes, this guy is on the floor trying to hold back laughter while digging through all his stuff, putting away all the garbage, putting them into different piles, organizing it very well, trying to find all his stuff. And my teacher is just standing up there looking at him, looking around the class with this big look of disappointment on her face. Not gonna lie, I was trying to hold back laughter as well because it was pretty funny. Alright, so after the 5 minutes are over, teacher walks back to her desk and just continues teaching like nothing ever happened. And the sad part about this story is the kid actually never found his workbook. I'm guessing he left it at home or something, but he spent 5 minutes looking through that dirty backpack and couldn't even find his actual notebook that he was looking for. So, pretty sad ending, to be honest. Alright, so the next story actually involves me, and it's about the time that I got in trouble for something I didn't even do. So, something that happens to everyone at least once in their life at school. But let's get right into this. So, this took place during English class. Like I said, all the crazy stuff happened mainly during English and history. What went down was I was just sitting down with one of my friends. We'll call him Carl, I guess. I don't know. So I didn't know Carl that well. We were like decent friends. We were like acquaintances. Like we were chill around each other. We had no beef. And we were in the back of class, so the teacher usually didn't see us. But this time she just happened to see us. So what went down was Carl, he was taking apart a mechanical pencil and hitting me with it. Yeah, I know. It makes no sense. He takes the lead and he starts poking me with it, and I tell him to stop. And he has this little childish grin on his face and just keeps laughing and poking me. So I take my pencil and I start poking him back and like hitting him back with it, obviously, because that's just how it goes. You're gonna hit me, I'm gonna hit you back. Nah, but then the teacher comes by and walks right past us because we're supposed to be doing our work, and she sees me poking him and hitting him, and she doesn't see that he's poking me and hitting me and taking apart mechanical pencils, and she sends me to the very front of the class, and I have to sit next to this one kid who we'll call, he doesn't need a name, we'll just call him that one kid. But that one kid was a pretty annoying kid. He was the wannabe popular kid who was just kind of, for a lack of better words, a douche. And the worst part about this is when I'm being sent up to the class and she's like, all right, Nate, you can go up to class.
What?
All right, Nate, you can go to the front of class. My friend Carl looks at me with this little childish grin again and says, yeah, Nate, go up to the front of the class. Obviously, he was joking around, but I was still a little bit annoyed by that because I really don't think I deserved to go up there. I mean, I kind of did, but at the same time, I didn't. Alright, so the next story actually doesn't involve a teacher. It involves the security guard, which is a little bit worse. Nah, not a little bit worse. That's a lot worse. So pretty much what went down was I was just eating lunch with some of my friends. You only really need to focus on like one or two of my friends, and we'll just call them Brittany and Caden. I have no idea. And both of them are pretty good friends. I'm still pretty good friends with Brittany, and I talk to Caden every once in a while. Obviously, not their real names. No one in this is really, that's not. All the names you hear in this aren't really their real names, don't worry. My friend Caden, he was kind of that class clown that was actually funny, but a little bit weird, you know? It's hard to explain. But Mance thinks it's a funny idea to start humping the table, so he brings the table to him and he starts humping the table. Yeah, I know. I have no idea what to think about it. And then, for some reason, I had the weirdest idea. I took an apple and I started like dropping down the table, like holding it a little bit above the table and then dropping it to make a little bit of a noise. And I feel this tap on my shoulder on like the third drop. And it's my security guard, and she says, you can go up to whichever room it was. It was the lunch detention room, pretty much. And she pays no attention to the fact that my friend was humping a table. Yeah, really crazy. So anyway, Caden and Brittany are laughing, and I'm just walking up there. I'm just completely dumbfounded by the fact that she didn't notice the fact that he was humping school property. Anyway, I get to the room, and it wasn't actually that bad, to be honest. It was my only lunch detention that I've had to this day, and currently I'm a freshman, so most of these stories took place 7th grade, FYI. But up there, it was a pretty normal time. It actually wasn't even that bad. I didn't have a lunch, to be honest, because I already ate it, and I was a little bit hungry because I didn't pack much that day. But my friend was up there, and we'll just call him Kevin. I'm honestly running out of names here. I was pretty good friends with Kevin. I actually haven't talked to him in a long time, to be honest. And there were a couple other high schoolers up there that looked like they had been there a lot because they honestly didn't seem to give a crap. It was a pretty chill time. I actually like didn't really like hate it that much, to be honest. Like lunch detention, honestly a little bit like underrated. All right, so the next story time will actually be the last story time, and it is probably the craziest one, and it is the one in the title where my teacher literally gets her phone taken by a student. Yeah, I know. So I'm not gonna lie, I never actually saw this happen, but I heard it happened because our teacher brought it up during class. Again, this was our English teacher, and she really sucked, to be honest. But that doesn't give you the right to go stealing her phone. I mean, you shouldn't really steal anyone's phone, especially your teachers, because most of the time they're just trying to help. But this teacher, honestly, was the worst. So what happened was I went into class and my English teacher had this disgusted look on her face. Like she looked absolutely disgusted at us all. And I was really confused and I knew something was going to happen. I knew she was going to bring something up. And yeah, she did. I take my seat and once she asks if everyone's in the class, she takes roll. She says, "Can I have everyone's attention real quick?" So obviously I'm listening because I want to see what's happening. She looks really pissed off. So pretty much what happens is she continues to talk and say that she's very disappointed in us all because she does not know who did it. And she's not telling us what happened. She's only telling us like she's like ashamed of us and thinks that we're bad kids and that we should mature up and act like our age. So at this point I'm really invested. I'm trying to see what's happening. Like this is a pretty big deal. Like nothing like this ever happens in my school. And she continues to tell us that some kid took her phone at the end of class, took it on their bus, and when they figured out that there was some tracker on there or something, he threw the phone in a bush. Yeah, he just threw the phone in a bush. Anyway, they ended up tracking down where the phone was, and they got out of the bush and they got it back, and they never figured out who the kid was to this day. That I mean, I don't believe they figured out who it was, and I honestly have some of my suspicions for who it was, but obviously I'm not going to bring them up right now. But yeah, needless to say, she was not having a grand old time, and I probably wouldn't either if someone stole my phone and threw it in a bush. But anyway, that's really all I have for today. Just some crazy stories that happened with my teachers, and just some simple school stories just for you guys to relax to. So yeah, thank you for checking it out. I'll see y'all later.